Folks, free agency rumors are really starting to pick up, and brand new reports have just dropped as recent as an hour ago surrounding the Jays' pursuit of many free agent targets and a bunch of huge updates to go over ahead of what's going to be a very, very impactful and crazy offseason for this team. We're going live. We're breaking it all down. There's a ton of new updates to go over today. Folks, welcome in. It's been a little bit since the last live stream. Hopefully you are all doing fantastic, and I'm excited. I'm excited to talk some Jays, go over some updates. We just had Ross Atkins speak out on a couple things, which we'll dive into as well here. But at the end of the day, folks, I'm glad to be back on the live stream, and I'm happy that a lot of you guys are in here already. What's up, Jordan, Richie, Mariana, AJ, everyone? Excited to be here, and a lot of cool things planned for this stream and beyond. So you want to stay tuned until the end of the stream for that. But first of all, it's been a crazy past few days. I haven't been live since the World Series loss. We can touch on that a little bit, but probably not going to be talking about that too much, how bad it was. But folks, first of all, how are y'all doing? I know a lot of you guys massive for live streams. They're officially back. They're here, and I'm excited to talk with you guys and go over some things that my specialty, the free agency, offseason, and of course, trade talks. But hopefully we're all doing well. What's up, Pat? What's up, everyone in here? Excited. A lot of stuff planned today, and I want to start with how we all feeling? How we all feeling in the chat about the way that the Jays have been approaching this offseason? Obviously, it just started, but they are back, Sports Universe. Yes, the streams are indeed back, but how's everybody feeling about the start of what we're hearing in the offseason and about the way things are going? Because it has been a lot of stuff. I mean, I'll dive into a couple different reports here before we dive into some of the new ones. But I mean, you have, Ken Rosenthal saying they're going all in on pitching. You have Ben Nicholson-Smith saying they're going all in on, Bo Bichette, Kyle Tucker, all these different things. And here we are now. We're here. They're going all in, and it's a weird feeling because these are, of course, the Vegas meetings. The Jays did indeed lose a hitting coach, AJ. We'll be covering that as well. I mean, Bieber's back. The last time I was live, we were talking about World Series, all these different things. Now, there has been a lot of off seasons where we've heard good things, right? We've heard good things, and then obviously they haven't gotten them. But this offseason is different. Now, you are right, Southern. We'll dive into that a little bit as well, though he is always a little bit careful with his words, though, again, is the most notable reporter. But let's start with this, folks. Scale of 1 to 10. After the World Series loss, where we are now, how are you guys feeling on a scale of 1 to 10 as it pertains to optimism from regarding the front office and them signing a player? How are we all feeling? 1 to 10. I'm feeling 8 right now. I feel pretty good. I'm starting to slowly get over the grieving period of the World Series loss. It's never going to fully go away. I get flashbacks every time I haven't watched a single highlight from any baseball game period since the loss. But how are we feeling? Scale to 1 to 10. Let's get it rocking in the chat here. 8, 9, 9, 8. Good. So that's what I expected, right? Like a pretty optimistic. Thank you, Mike Fox. I see you in the comment section all the time. Appreciate you. No, Popkins. We did not lose Popkins. And 8. I'm about 8, 8.5 as well. Like the terms we've been hearing from these reporters are different than what we've heard in the past. Now, in the past, we've obviously heard. I do have Twitter on here on the right as well, so we will. I will be keeping you guys up to date. You guys know how this goes. This is my favorite thing to do. If you guys have been following the channel for a while, obviously my specialty is free agency, offseason, all those things. So we'll be live a ton, keeping you guys up to date the second things drop. However, mostly like in the past, reports were about the Jays kind of being interested in this guy, could potentially be favorites for this guy. This year, you can see even here about Ben Nicholson-Smith, pack mentality. Players want to come to Toronto. Toronto is the place that players want to go. We haven't heard that at all, and that's why I'm pretty optimistic here. I'm glad they're trying to get better. My rating's a 9. A lot of optimistic fans. And are we, not to bring it back, are we feeling? Are you guys over the World Series loss yet? How are we feeling? Are you guys the same as me? Still grieving a little bit? Don't watch baseball. I don't know if you guys are on Instagram or TikTok and you see little clips. I can't watch any of it. Are we kind of over it now? Or are we kind of, I'm never going to be fully over it, but I think I'm feeling a little bit better. I think that's kind of where I'm at with it. It'll be hard to get Tucker and Bo both. I agree with that. I do think they're going to get Bo Bichette back. I do ultimately think they will. Like me, still thinking about it. I'm over it. I'm never gonna miss it. I can't watch clips. Can't even watch baseball right now, but I'm excited for next year. Traumatized is a good word. It was the worst experience. It was the worst loss of my life, right? It was all of ours, I'm sure. Yeah, Game 7 will never be watched back, which is a shame because of how good the games were objectively, right? Now, again, this was the report here. I covered it in my video yesterday or the day before. Obviously, a lot of reports come out, and you guys know, I'll have it, of course. But baseball tends to have a pack mentality. The Jays, you can see here, should be easier for them to get players. The Jays are hungry. They're acting like the big boys. I hope that is the case. The reason I wanted to go live, a couple different things here. You guys love the live streams. I have new stuff planned. Going to be going live multiple times a week probably, but at least once a week. We're going to be having different segments, different things, stuff involving you guys. We're going to be having call-ins. There's a million things we're going to be having in the offseason. And of course, if you're not a member, this would be a good time to become a member. Tons of new perks coming in. There's going to be a Discord for members only where you can chat with me directly. Tons of things coming. We're working on a ton of stuff behind the scenes. All of that long-winded to be said. I wanted to go live right now because this is obviously the calm before the storm. Leave in the chat, just type the player. If you could pick one player for them to grab, one player, and that includes Bichette, just one, but you can't get anyone else just for the sake of this argument, who would it be? So obviously you probably had to think between maybe even a guy like Ranger Suarez, but probably Bichette, Kyle Tucker, and whoever else that's available. If you can't get anyone else, but you get one, who would you guys want? And that's where it's interesting because Kyle Tucker versus Bichette. Like Kyle Tucker's probably a better player, but Bichette we know fits well here. I'm curious. I think most of you will probably say Bo. And by most, almost every single person. Okay. If you want trade for Screwball's a good one. If you want Bichette, hit a like on the stream. Let's try to get to 100 likes. We're at 30. Well, let's try to get to 100 likes. So now if you guys are mostly going with Bo, which is fair, I do think there is a world where they get Kyle Tucker and Bichette ultimately. Like I think there's probably a world where that happens. It's a small world and it'd probably be pretty difficult to do. And yeah, the Jays don't really need an outfielder necessarily, like on the surface level, but he is an unbelievable player. Let me ask you this question. So let's assume you go with Bichette. Do you think the Jays should spend a ton of money on a guy like Edwin Diaz? Now, the Dodgers, according to Jeff Passan, you can see here their best option would be to sign free agent closer Edwin Diaz. Would you sign a reliever if he's elite like Edwin Diaz for $100 million? That's the question. I don't really know. Now, again, the Jays are expected to go big in for Tucker. Now, I also want to say this, just to kind of loop it back here. I'm going to keep asking you guys questions as we go and keep you guys involved. Just to be clear here as well, they are not going to give up on Berger. So let's assume that Kyle Tucker is the one. Let's say they sign Kyle Tucker, right, for $400 million. Pretty good. I mean, fantastic player, all these different things, right? Now there's a lot of different ways you can go about it. I'm trying to find a tweet here that had a good explanation so I could show you guys on paper, but if not, I'll just explain it. But it's essentially, you're putting Berger at third, right? You wouldn't take Berger out of the lineup. You probably have Santander in the mix somewhere, but you'd be platooning some players, right? It would be very, very different. You wouldn't be losing out on Addison Berger, right? You could probably put Bo at second, Jimenez at short if you get both of them. Tucker in right, Santander in left, Verso in center, Springer DH, and then move Clement around and kind of figure that out there. That's probably what they would do. Pete Fairbanks is an interesting one. Ime. I don't think they're going to trade Santander. Yeah, the Andy Pages catch was awful. It was a great catch, but it was the worst in my lifetime, or up there with some of the worst in my lifetime. And let me see what you guys are saying here. He was hurt, not effective at all. Hoff had good numbers. It was one bad pitch. That pitch will stick with me forever. I think Robert Suarez is a very, very likely outcome. Now, we also, I don't know if Santander is going to be great next year, but I also don't know if George Springer's he's turning 36, right? We don't know if he's going to be fantastic. Now, in case you guys missed it, Hunter Mentz, the Blue Jays hitting coach, and I'll have a video tomorrow morning on a lot of this stuff, but the Jays are losing assistant hitting coach Hunter Mentz. He's joining the Giants, reuniting with Tony Vitello, and that's actually pretty rough. Bassett is still a free agent. He hasn't signed or been signed anywhere yet. He is currently just in free agency like most players. So Atkins on Hunter Mintz, exceptionally disciplined and very bright. He brought those attributes into our process and things like that. So Hunter Mintz is gone. It's not Dave Popkins. They're going to look and work internally between John Schneider and David Popkins to replace him. But that's a pretty big loss. He was huge, right? Like he was big, maybe not as big as a guy like Dave Popkins, but at the same time, still pretty important there, right? Pretty important player to, or I guess not player, but coaching staff member to go. So he's gone, which sucks. But the good news is Lou Lamoriello is back, we assume, and Dave Popkins is going to remain. I think Verlin will make a good closer. I don't know. I don't think so. Santander out. He's not good or reliable enough. I'm giving they're going to play him this year. They're paying him $100 million, right? They're paying him. It's as simple as that. They are paying him a lot of money. Verlin could be a starter next year. I see a Savage being dominant out of the bullpen. They're going to start a Savage for sure as well. I just don't see a world where they don't. I can't see it. Lots of money coming off the payroll for 2026, so payroll could go to $300 million this season. Yes, that is something to keep an eye out on. Like they are going to go all in per se this offseason because who knows about the lockout and the CBA in 2027, but also I think we could see Verlin start. Yeah, I think there's a higher. What's up, Eric? I think there's a higher chance he starts than closes. But at the same vein, I expect them to get at least another starter. You also have Eric Lauer. You have Bowden Francis. You have a lot of these different guys. Which at the end of the day, it'll be exciting. But again, they're in on Kyle Tucker, man. Like no matter what, and whether it's leverage or not, which I don't think it is, you have John Heyman coming out and saying the Jays are expected to spend big, make big sense for Tucker. I believe there was a report this afternoon as well that the Jays are favorites for Tucker, and John Heyman saying it's between the Dodgers and the Jays, which is it's still early, but something to keep an eye out for and keep your mind on here, folks. And this is kind of crazy. I don't know. I want to ask you guys as well. I don't know if you guys had a similar revelation to me, or maybe just in general here. Because the season went by so long, so long, it didn't go by fast. It was a long season with the playoffs. Like, the season ended, whatever it was, a week and a half ago, a couple Saturdays ago. Free agency is now. Last year, I felt like we were waiting months for free agency because of how bad the season was, and you didn't make the playoffs. Free agency is now. And, I mean, people are going to start ramping up in January, February, right? Things are going to start happening quickly. So it might seem like, the season just ended, all these different things. It's happening soon. We could see signings as soon as, today, probably as soon as, we'll probably see some realistic rumors and more reports coming out over the next few days, next few weeks. But winter meetings are when things are really crazy. If you've been following the channel for a while, whether it be the Ohtani stuff, whether it be the Roki Sasaki stuff, crazy. Bo, quality starter, another closer and left-handed relief. I would agree with that. Did we get Bo yet? No, Bo is not officially back. However, you can see here from Ben Nicholson-Smith from an hour ago, my understanding from talking to a lot of people here is that starting pitching is their number one priority. So they're looking for starting pitching. That was Ben Nicholson-Smith's most recent report and his latest report. And his most latest report reveals that not only is it, you can see here, not only is it starting pitching, but he also expects Bo Bichette to come back and then start. This has Robert Suarez all over it. All over it. Now, which one? That's up for debate. Tarek Skubal, I don't think the Jays are going to have enough to trade for him. Ranger Suarez makes a ton of sense. There's some other guys that are like B-tier players. Framber Valdez, you guys don't want him. So Kodai Senga, very interesting option, is a potential trade piece out of New York. AJ Marash is right. Get a top starter if there's one to replace. I'm not sure if Varsho will be worth the money he wants as a Boris client. I think he is worth the money. He's the best defender in baseball. Best defender in baseball. I think they make a trade. Absolutely. Sengai for Berríos would be sick. That's very interesting. That's a very interesting one. I don't know if that happens, but that's a funny proposition, and honestly, one I like, to be honest with you. I don't hate it. You mean Ranger Suarez, don't you? Yes. Who did I say? Did I say Robert Suarez? I mean Ranger Suarez. There's so many Suarez. The starter, which is Ranger Suarez. Robert Suarez, the bullpenner. Apologies. There's too many here. You can see here. Okay. Or Robert Suarez. Hold on, I'm mixing up the I'm mixing up the pitchers. I'm mixing up the pitchers. It is Ranger I'm thinking of. I'm thinking of Ranger. Ranger. Verster made some catches. Yep. So many different I'm thinking of Ranger Suarez of the Phillies. That's what I'm thinking of. Ranger Suarez. Get both of them. You could use both of them. You could use a reliever and you could use Ranger. And you could use Robert. Apparently they're interested in Robert Suarez too. Too many players. There. Too many players. Jays trade for. They are going to be active in the trade market. If there's anything we learned from last year, it's that the Jays love making trades, whether it be Andres Gimenez, whether it be others. They're making trades. If Tucker goes to Toronto, Canada, might get a World Series ring. I think the Jays would be favorites if they land Tucker. Keep Berríos, keep Bassett, promote Francis. I don't want that. I wouldn't want to. I'm kind of over the Bowden Francis experiment. I mean, you could have a little offseason of. I mean, there's a lot of different ways you could go about it. You know, get Bichette back, bring Bassett back, get Edwin Diaz, get a fourth outfielder. Remember Ross said at the presser he's looking at the trade market. Yeah, Joe Ryan's an interesting one. Mackenzie Gore is another one. He did, yep. Sign Robert and Ranger, but not Eugenio. Why don't they do deferrals if they wanted to get Bowen Tucker? Now, there's no salary cap in baseball, right? So they wouldn't really technically have to defer it, but they could, and there probably would be some level of that, some level of deferrals. But again, you don't really need to with the amount of money Rogers just made. Yes, Ranger Suarez is in Philly. I believe Robert Suarez is on the Padres, or was in the Padres. The fact that MLB ranked New York over Toronto is diabolical. Let's touch on that for a moment. Not that directly. Type yes or no. Do you think Don Schneider was robbed of the AL Manager of the Year? Or do you think they shouldn't have got him anyway? Do you think he didn't deserve it? Clement is going to stay. He's under contract for years. You don't need to extend Clement. Do you think that John Schneider got robbed? Type yes if you do. Type no if you think he didn't deserve Manager of the Year. He absolutely did. Yeah, Fitzgerald. I don't think the Pirates are going to do that. I mean, I think he did. Berríos is cooked? Hopefully not. I mean, like, John Schneider, I don't know. Stephen Vogt, I mean, the Tigers collapsed, right? Like, heavily. And this was voted at the end of the regular season. So, I mean, I guess it kind of makes sense. Keep in mind, this is voted on before the playoffs. That's fair. I mean, I can see, but Chris, you could argue that with the Jays, right? You could argue that with the Jays that he did the most with the least. Now, the least meaning, like, obviously their team on paper is pretty good, the Jays, but like they were coming off a 74-win season. Rotation: Gausman, Savage, Bieber, Berríos, Scherzer, Bassett, or Lauer, Tiedemann. Yeah, I mean, that would be, I mean, if they got Johan Duran or someone like that, I don't think that's going to happen. Edwin Diaz would make a lot of sense. I'd love a trade for Peralta. Love it. What about Tatis if he comes available? Yeah, they go all in. The Ross Atkins regime loves trades. Also, if you're new here, hit the subscribe button. Let's try to get, we're on the road. We make Jays videos every single day. If you're brand new here, literally every day. Ketel Marte is a very interesting one. I don't hate it. Actually, might be a bit of foreshadowing to tomorrow's video, sir or lady. I'm gonna write that down. What's up, Alan? Have we considered that Bieber isn't completely healthy? Yes, I think there's a chance, but like at 12 million, that's the same that Max Scherzer made last year. So it's like, and if he can make 2 good starts in the playoffs, it's worth every penny of it, right? What would be your ideal trade package for Tatis? Like, if you're trading for Tatis, it would cost your top prospects and like probably someone like Berger, like someone young. Go get Naylor for DH. The problem is, AJ, DH is kind of already taken between Santander, between George Springer, and others. Marte's very good, though. And I think you could argue the one hole on this team is second base. Depending on how things go. Because obviously, you know, Jimenez at second. You have Bo there, technically. So not really a hole. But you could make room for the infielder, is my point. Yeah, the whole farm. Yeah, exactly. Like, it's going to be Namala, their number 2 prospect, which at this point, you could argue whoever it is, JoJo, Parker, Berger. If we got Tucker to play outfield with Varsho and Santander, Jimenez, Bichette, and Clement and Vladdy to play the bases. What happens with Straw, Berger, Lucas, and Schneider? I want those players. And let's go over that a little bit. So let's assume that they go ahead and they pull off Kyle Tucker, who's a fine fielder, right? He's good enough to play in the outfield. If you're starting Santander every day, you're probably going Santander in left, Varsho in center, Tucker in right, Springer DH, right? So those are your 4. You have Kirk behind the plate. You have Berger at third. If it's a righty, if it's a lefty, you have Clement at third. And then you have Bo at second, and you have Jimenez at short. Now, that means that one of Berger or Clement are out every, platooning, and Lucas you probably trade off somewhere. But you're upgrading in the sense of Tucker is a way better hitter than Ernie Clement. As much as we love Ernie Clement, he's a way better hitter than Ernie Clement. And then, of course, you can kind of change between, if you're going up against a righty, you put in Berger. If you're going up against a lefty, you put Clement at third. Or you take Santander out. Or maybe they take Jimenez out as well against, lefties, and you have Berger and, Clement in. You have Clement at short. Like, there's a lot of ways you can go about it, but you work backwards from that, right? If you can get one of the best hitters in baseball, you do it. Now, he wasn't last year. Cooled off a little bit. What's up, Lit Gaming? I think Clement is better Jimenez. Yeah, you could definitely argue that, and you probably wouldn't be wrong. There's definitely that case to be made. I think I wouldn't mind Clement at second. He'd rather be equal on defense. I want Berger to stay. Kyle Tucker doesn't make sense for the Jays. You need more pitching, and more pitching. Now, speaking of more pitching, let me be very, very clear. They're, like Ben Nicholson-Smith said here, they are prioritizing pitching. There is a good chance that they go for starting pitching before they go for Bo Bichette. I'm telling you that right now. From what I'm hearing, from what we're seeing, do not be surprised if their first move is signing Ranger Suarez or somebody like that, because they have depth at the infield. If Bo Bichette walks, which hopefully they don't, they can afford to, at least that's what they think, they can afford to get a starting pitcher first. So don't be surprised if a starting pitcher gets taken and signed before they sign Bo Bichette. Mark my words. Not saying it's going to happen, but don't be surprised. Don't be surprised. Can't trade Santander. Yeah, you're not trading Santander. You're way better off hoping that he bounces back than getting. What team is trading for Santander? No team. I see Berger and Lucas getting traded in different trades. I think Lucas is a really solid trade candidate to a team that needs outfielders, which, guess what? A lot of teams do. The Jays aren't one of them. Tiedemann is a late inning relief pitcher. Yeah, there's a lot of ways they can go about it here. That's the exciting part about this offseason. There's so many things that can happen in a very short period of time that no harm. It's exciting. Do you think Jay's going to get Tucker? No. Exactly, AJ. Though I do think they're probably, if I had to put percentages on it, I'd say 30% Jays, 70% anyone else. You have Low Perfido too. I think the most realistic outcome right now for the Jays is they start off the offseason, they sign Ranger Suarez, they extend Bo Bichette, they look at the trade market for another bat. Now, the ideal scenario, starting pitcher, sign Bo, sign Tucker. Maybe you trade for a starting pitcher, sign Bo, sign Tucker. There seems to be a lot of smoke around Tucker to the Jays. I don't think it's the most likely outcome, but at the same time, there's too much smoke for there not to be some sort of, again, smoke there. What's up, Rickman? And also, Ben Nicholson-Smith is saying they're interested in him. He's pretty accurate. So there's a lot of different ways this can go about. See ya, Al. Santander cannot possibly have a worse year. I agree. I mean, it seems that like big name players want to come. No money for Tucker. They're re-signing Bo. Very possible. I mean, they have the money though. It wouldn't be about money. They've offered Ohtani almost $1 billion Canadian. I don't disagree with you, Chris. And I think in a trade like that where you're getting rid of Berger, I mean, if you somehow, I don't think it's going to happen, but if you somehow sign Bo and Tucker and you want to get rid of Berger, probably more likely to get rid of Lucas because Berger can play third. But like, you could trade him for a starting pitcher and then boom, you have a new team. But then, are you changing things too much from your team last year? Like, probably not, but still. Need a closer? I think Hoffman's a fairly decent closer. Might be a hot take, but Jays will re-sign Bo and sign Tucker and upgrade pitching. I think that's very possible. I think so. Yeah, they have money. They have money to do it all. It's just a matter of if they want to. Break the Tucker news. Need a top starter. Of course, Dodgers would sign everyone while they kill. Yep, absolutely. Listen, if I had inside information right now about Tucker to the Jays, I'd let you guys know. I hear some things, but not Tucker. Nick Anderson to sign with the Athletics. Interesting. Hoffman was elite though in the playoffs, man. He had one bad outing, and it was the worst possible time. Cost the Jays a World Series. It's not a bad take. Someone said, I think we're going to see a whole different team in 2026. The clubhouse is because of Schneider and his coaching philosophy. So I think any player will be able to get the same synergy as this year. They should have caught up for Johan Duran. Too many prospects to give up at that point. I mean, you could argue it would have won the World Series, though. Rickman, I think, like, in theory, and especially for us on the outside looking in, the top priority is Bichette, though I don't know if that is actually the case. Like, I think their top priority might be a starting pitcher based on everything we're hearing here. It seems like starting pitching is their number one priority. Yeah, Tyler Heineman back. Let's do that. Diaz could be neat. Davis Schneider. I mean, there's so many trade targets. What's going to happen with Davis Schneider? Encarnacion needs to be a bench coach. Yeah, they made a ton of money off the World Series. Millions and millions and millions of dollars. Had he been able to locate his pitches, he wouldn't have sent a meatball to Miguel Rojas. I would sign Bo and have enough bats and go for starting pitcher and relief pitchers. Do you guys think we need a new closer? Yes or no in the chat. Also, we're 22 likes away from 100. If you guys can hit the like button, it would mean the world to me. The streams are back, and we're all the way back. New closer, yes. Diaz in a Toronto uniform. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, so we all hate Hoffman. Okay. But do we think they should spend a significant amount of money on closers? Or use internal options, whether that be Barlin, whether that be Ricky Tiedemann, whether that be someone else? What's up, Davey boy? Been a while. I think Hoffman could be a good eighth inning guy. They do need another back end arm, and I think they will get another back end arm. I think they're focusing on pitchers. 6-7 inning guy. People are low on Hoffman, which I don't blame you. No Springer. Closers at the trade deadline, they are too volatile. Don't disagree. Pete Fairbanks. It's a guy. It's a guy, man. It is a guy. Robert Suarez and it's Pete Fairbanks, but yeah. Lineup: Springer, Tucker, Vladdy, Bo, Berger, Kirk, Santander, Versho, Clement. That is a nasty lineup. Best offense in baseball. It's funny, Eric. Sign someone like Fairbanks to do the ninth and Hop to his overall. Fairbanks hasn't been great either, though. Fairbanks hasn't been great either. Mike Trout trade with the Angels? No way. No way. Yeah, there's Ime, who's a very interesting Tetsuya Ime, who's a very, very interesting one. I mean, there's Murakami. I don't think they're gonna go for Murakami. I don't know. There's some interesting names out there. 3 likes away from 100 as well. Varsho needs to train with Jin Tomi. It's a name I haven't heard in a while. We need an elite closer. Need a nasty Ranger Suarez. He checks every box. Kind of like Corbin Burns last year. Unfortunately, got injured this year. Yamamoto would have been great. Was never coming here. Roki Sasaki. It's been a lot of them. It's funny, Maple. All right, folks. Put your dream off season. Just 3 players. What would your guys' dream? Yeah, he does. He does, Eric Shepard. Put your dream off season in the chat here. We're gonna be wrapping up shortly. A bit of a short stream, just get the vibes back out there. They could also bring Sir Anthony Dominguez back, but just leave 3 players you want the Jays to get in a perfect world. He does, Eric. Yep. Leave 3 players. I'm going with, a perfect world: Tucker, Bo, Ranger, Suarez. Those are my 3. Those are my 3 in an absolutely perfect world. That's right, Dwayne. That's right. Bo, Ime, Edwin Diaz. Ime is an interesting one. Diaz, Bichette, Valdez. Interesting. Sonny May, Bo, and Tucker. Trade for bullpen depth. Bo, Tucker, Ranger. Same with me, Brent. Diaz, trade for Scooble. I guess, yeah. Tucker, Bo, Dylan Cease. Diaz, Bo, Murakami. A lot of different ones here. Tucker, Williams, and Woodruff. Being realistic, Eric. I like it. Ranger, Suarez, Devin Williams, and Bo Bichette. No Bo Bichette for you, Eric. Is interesting. Ranger, Bo, and Diaz. I don't hate that either. That's a good one. Bichette, Tucker, Ime. Tucker, Ranger, and Robert Suarez. Robert or Ranger Suarez? Robert's the bullpen arm. Ranger's the left-handed starter out of Philadelphia. Bo, Tucker, Cease. Could be, yeah, like Cease is another one too. A lot of interesting names. Tucker, Bo, and Ranger. I think that's where I'm at too. I don't think they're in the trade with the Mariners. I wanted him a J for so long. Bo, Tucker, and Manga. Interesting. That's another one. Shota. They declined his player option. I think they've re-signed Bassett as a starter or a bullpen arm. They could use him as a starter and transition him into a bullpen arm. Oh, Eric, I understand. I got you. I think so too, to be honest, for what it's worth. So you guys wouldn't sacrifice, last question. Yes or no? Would you guys sacrifice Bo Bichette for Kyle Tucker? Yes or no? Yes, meaning you would, you'll take Tucker if it means you can't get Bo. No, it means you'd rather Bo than Tucker. It's a very interesting one. Very interesting. It's interesting to me. It makes sense, because obviously we have too many outfielders, but Tucker's really good. I think I would, but maybe I'm different. Though you get to keep Bo and Vladdy together. It's interesting. By all accounts, Tucker's a good teammate, though. However, he's going to cost more. No, Dwayne, he's always going to wait till the end. He wants to get offers from everybody. Bo over Tucker, interesting. Keep that in mind going forward. Tucker and Straw are good buddies. Don't underestimate the power of friendship. True. Tucker's in a reunite with Springer. I mean, Springer, Malstra. Bo Naylor moved Vlad back to third and Mad Max. That is a crazy offseason. I think Santander will be DH, yeah. Probably as soon as next year. His defense is putrid. Kyle Tucker's really good, though. Like, don't get it twisted. He is elite. It'll be interesting. Steals a lot of bases, too. It's interesting. However, he's going to get paid $400 million. But, folks, that's going to wrap it up. It was a great one. Not almost an hour, 38, 40 minutes live stream. Going to be doing these every single week, multiple times a week. Davik, there is some new reports. About, they're going after a starting pitcher and they're going to prioritize starting pitching. But do you guys want to see more live streams? Let me know right now in the chat. I'm going to plan to do them. Still going to do 1 to 2 videos a day. It's that time of year, but I'm going to be going live. You guys seem to love them. You guys seem to love the live stream. Your guys' support has always been elite. It has always been elite. So if you guys want to see more live streams, let me know now in the chat. We'll get some call-ins going, get some new segments going, tons of things on the horizon here. And it's fun talking with you guys about it. Jonathan, every single day. I haven't missed a video in 3 years. I've uploaded every day for 3 years. A couple misses in there. Tomorrow, 9 a.m. Tomorrow, 9 a.m. There'll probably be another one tomorrow afternoon. There'll be ones. Yes, more live streams. Got you guys. Terry School of the Jays. I'm not at all, Lanny. I'm a bit more calm in the live streams. I'm more relaxed, I will say. Varsho, Santanera, Varsho, perfect. It's not worth trading Dave's joking enough. Yeah, I mean, it's true. I will definitely be doing more live streams for you all. Call-ins. I know a lot of you guys love them. I get a lot of messages asking for them. Talking about hockey is crazy. 100 likes. Yes, thank you all for that. Yeah, you can definitely do that, Morris. We'll do call-ins and we'll have priority for members and things like that. Live streams are fun. Yeah, I always like connecting with you. Freddie Peralta's going too. I always like connecting with you guys, get to know me a little bit more off the videos, and of course sticking with that, which is good. Big up the live. Perfect. All right, you guys love them. We will get some more rocking. I'll probably have another one sometime either this weekend, maybe next week. In the meantime, video tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern time. And then another one. They are AJ. Another one later in the day. Oh, Shane. What's up, Shane? Didn't realize this was a live. It is. It is alive. Yeah, sure, Marianne, of course. Yeah, entire Leafs team for Scooble. We are about to wrap up, Shane, but glad you got to get in. Yeah, Hussein, a bunch of them. Eric, have a good one, buddy. Thank you for tuning in, sir. Yeah, it is. It's gonna be a crazy off season. Again, videos every single day, all that good stuff. And again, I can see some news coming out. Some news coming out pretty soon here, so it's gonna be exciting. But folks, Make sure to hit the like button on your way out. Hit the subscribe button, and video coming out very, very soon for you all. And hopefully you all have a fantastic evening. And again, thank you guys for your continued support. I see responding to almost every single, or a lot of comments. Or sometimes too many to go through, but a lot of comments, and he does. But we'll see you guys in a video, or I will rather see. Whoa, never mind. Before we wrap up, hold the phone. Shane gifted 5 memberships. Now, W. Shane is right. Shout out to the people who stayed lurking. So Daniel, Skin, Rihan, Jason, and Theo. Thanks, Shane, in the chat. Shane, thank you. Of course, Shane is a very loyal viewer and a fantastic. Shane, you've been around for a while. You're an OG. Now, you have access to badges next to your name. You have access to emotes, and there's going to be at the buzzers, right? Over the next week or two, probably for the next week's stream, you're going to see a bunch of new things with members. Again, priority call-ins, members-only Discord, members-only chats with, me in the Discord. Ton of different things coming out to where you're going to get exclusive content. Nothing, not exclusive, but sometimes some early stuff and some behind-the-scenes looks. Never going to paywall any content, right? You're always going to get the videos every single day, whether you're a member or not. But a lot of stuff coming to members. So, Shane, you can see some of the emotes there. Shane, thank you for that. And, yeah, shout out to everybody who got the membership. Who got one of the 5 memberships. We're up to almost 100 now, which means we can get some new emotes. Let me know in the chat as well what emotes you guys want to see. I think maybe a Vladdy one, the Grand Slam against New York. There's a lot of different ones we can look into there. So it'll be exciting. It will be exciting. Shane, that was at the buzzer. That's impressive. Right at the buzzer is perfect. 100. We got over 100 likes as well. So incredible. Incredible stuff, folks. Incredible stuff. All right. We will see you all in the video tomorrow. And in the video tomorrow, let me know if you... what's up, Jack? In the video tomorrow, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Hopefully a Kyle Tucker emote, Shane. That's what I'm hoping for. In the video tomorrow, let me know if you came from the stream. We'll have another live stream the next week or so, every single week. So it's going to be excited. I hope so, Fitzgerald. Good luck. Go for it. Take it easy, fellas. And ladies and gentlemen, rather, we will see you in a video tomorrow morning.